Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have another discussion video, and today it's on a thread on the official forums. I'm gonna link it down below for people who want to check it out for yourself, but I would suggest you not check it out. I've skimmed through it, and it looks just like a lot of bad takes. That's the best way I could put it, right? But you guys enjoy when I do look through this and I give my opinion, and I try to stay, as in the middle as I can, see both sides and kind of just give my opinion of it after I read it. And yeah, we're gonna go from there. It's quite the thread. It's getting a lot of attention, so I thought, why not give my input on it? Like always, if I disagree with somebody or if I give a different take than the person does that made it or that commented on it, you have to understand, it's not me being very aggressive towards that person. It's not me feeling any way towards that person. It is just me giving my opinion to his opinion. We can agree to disagree. That's how life works. A lot of people see. I know people have commented on my other videos saying, you aren't being too aggressive. You're just, you're saying what you have to say. I understand that, but the scope nowadays, people see a lot of stuff as, a lot of opinions as either, toxic or, oh, you're hating or this or that. No, it's just, if people can give their opinions, I can also give my opinions, okay? Now that we got that out the way, let's get right into it. So the title, Tale Worlds, you get the TM2, starts making another game/DLC before Bannerlord is finished. Unannounced project, TM. There it is. All right, let's see this beautiful thread. All right, so we have a screenshot of vacancies, obviously for the company, for people they want to hire. So they want to hire another software engineer for the UI, one for gameplay, and one for an unannounced project. There it is, a software engineer for gameplay. Okay, so they want two gameplay engineers, one obviously for Mount Blade, and then this one for, unannounced. We have a Q&A. I'm not gonna watch it, but he has quoted what they have said here, so we're gonna see what it is. In this interview, Armagon, which is one of the devs, says, well, he's like the if I'm not mistaken, he's one of the lead devs that kind of like says yes or no to big decisions, right? Says about future DLCs. This is what he says: things that we are working on at the moment are not going to be offered as DLCs. They're going to be inside of the game. Okay, so that unannounced project should be free, right? Or is it a lie? If it is a lie, does Armagon's statement about planned future monetization and multiplayer is also a lie? Jesus Christ. I'm gonna give my opinion at every point once we read the whole thing through, right? Just bear with me. Hi everyone. This is the statement from the developer. Just wanted to make a clarification on this issue. Microtransactions are not something that we are actively working on at this moment. However, cosmetic only. I don't think I said that right. It is what it is. Only microtransactions are a great way to fund active multiplayer updates, and if we decide to add purchasable or grindable skins at some point, we'll definitely make them strict cosmetic only. Look, I'm gonna give my take at the end. You know what I mean? Like I said. Also, the idea that class selection was added to facilitate microtransactions makes absolutely no sense. Warband's multiplayer equipment system was way more and less inspired by Counter-Strike, and Valve doesn't seem to have any problems with using microtransactions with their game. That's another thing we're about to talk about. We could have used an equipment selection system for multiplayer and devised a monetization system for it quite easily. Frankly, microtransactions is the last thing on our mind, since we still have a huge task of creating a successful and fun multiplayer game experience. Okay, I like that. Look, I'm gonna give credit where it's due. This person has a thread, regardless if you think it's a good or bad take, but he has sources. I like that. You know what I'm saying? I always state in these type of threads, people don't have sources. They just fire off shots, just blank. But I like that you have sources. You know what I mean? That's one thing that I do like. And later in the video, Armagon says, after the release, we'll probably work on extra things, for example, ships, naval warfare, etc. But we saw in the Bannerlord beta that naval warfare and ships were implemented, and we have a video proof about it from March 27, 2020, even before the EA launch. and this is not a mod, it is official work. So planned naval warfare DLC should be free, right? If Armagon is not lying. Alright. We have another statement from the developer. Things that we are working on at the moment are not going to be offered as DLCs. They're just going to be inside of the game. Okay. Then we have obviously the ship combat. Looks pretty good, low-key, I'm not going to lie to you. Later in this interview, the guy, or the interviewer, asks Armagon, so I assume the future content will be released in the form of the updates and not DLCs, right? Things that we are currently working on are not going to be DLCs. So that's what the devs have stuck on, okay? And the dev states, we are mostly concentrating on getting the game ready for early access and not thinking about DLCs. And then we have the person making this thread. Are they? If not, why Armagon lied about the Bannerlord in that interview? And what is that unannounced project really? If Tailwords have time and people to work for another project, why are we seeing statements of multiplayer game developers that's saying we are a small team, etc.? And he linked to the devs. Alright. You ready for the take? If you get easily, you know, if your feelings get hurt easily, if you, if you're very easily, how can I say this? We're about to talk some real stuff here, okay? We're about to drop some bombs. We're about to, you know, talk about reality, and we're about to get right into it. If you don't like that type of stuff, you can click off the video and just go on with your day. You know, it is what it is. But we're about to break this down step by step. I'm gonna give my opinion. You can agree or disagree. It is what it is. All right, let's do it. This right here. So the whole unannounced project and you know, them wanting to hire for, you know, exactly an unannounced project is well within their right. If they want to work on a if they want to have some people working on a different game as they're working on something else, that's fine. But here's the thing: if they wanted to have like people working on a different project, it wouldn't just be one person. Let's get that straight. You know, making a game, whether it's a small project or a big project, you know, in terms of a game, if this even is a game, you need a lot more than just one person. You need more than just a software engineer that focuses on gameplay. You need one for UI. You obviously need you need all the factors that makes a good game, right? So, again, this right here, if I was to take my wildest guess, I would say unannounced project. Maybe it could be a DLC. That would make the most sense to me as of right now. What else could it possibly be? I really can't think of anything else. It could be a DLC, right? That would be my guess. But again, we don't know any more info. This is, you know, this is very bare bones, and you know, you can't really just take this title of unannounced project and just run with it. Like, is that? You don't know, right? All right, let's move on from that. Here, when was this Q&A shot?
Hello, everybody.
2019. Okay. 2019. Okay, so in this thing he states about future DLC. He says stuff that we were working on currently, which is in 2019. They were going to be inside of the game. Okay. Now, here it is. If this was just found recently, and the interview was from 2019, then he was clearly talking about the stuff that they were doing in 2019, right? So it's 2020. It's almost 2021, right? This doesn't really connect with this, if that kind of makes sense, right? He was stating what they're currently working on in 2019, early 2019, if I saw that correctly, right? What was it, May? So you can't really, you know, morph these two together and be like, oh, well, he lied. No, it's past almost a good, you know, like a little bit less than a little bit more than a year and a half, you know. If they're working on some type of form of either DLC or, you know, an unannounced project, whatever it is, you know, it's not really connected to what he said right here, you know. It's like taking something that someone said. It's like when people how can I explain this? It's like, you know, when people get exposed for like tweets they do like 10 years ago when they were like 12 years old and now they're 22, and obviously they've grown up, they've matured, and they've realized, you know, You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's just like stuff changes. Development changes, or people change. Stuff like that. So it's a reach. It's a reach right here. Okay. So that unannounced project should be free, right? Or is it a lie? If it's a lie, does Armagon statement about planned future monetization and multiplayer also a lie? All right. So this one right here, this is a lot of questions that are just out of the blue, right? So the unannounced project should be free, right? Look. Again, when we're talking about these two things not being very connected in terms of the time scale, how far they are apart from each other, should they be free, right? That's up for them to decide. I don't know what to. And if it does cost money, but it's a good DLC, is it worth it? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way, but coming from playing Mount Blade for a long time, they've delivered on their DLCs, if I'm not mistaken. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but they had some good DLCs. They followed the trend of a lot of games from. Not even a lot of games. Like there's a couple of games that really did DLCs justice. You know what I mean? Ones that I can think off the top of my head. Obviously, Warband, very successful DLCs. I would say the earlier Fallouts, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, amazing DLCs. It really gave you your money's worth. And if they offer a DLC that gives me my money's worth, I'm fine with it. But yeah, we'll see. Again, we don't know what this unannounced project is, so there's no need to speculate should it be free. We don't even know what it is, right? And by the way, just another thing, an unannounced project, it's very unspecific, probably for a reason. Again, I stated that it might be a DLC. It might be even a feature in the game currently or something of that nature. Like, we don't know, That's what I'm trying to tell you. We really don't know. What do we got? Now we got the whole conversation about skins and multiplayer skins. Look, if they want to have cosmetic skins, I'm okay with it. Now here's why. I really don't like, because they mentioned Counter-Strike here, right? Here's what I really don't like. I don't like the people who fight for like, oh, there should be no microtransactions at all, right? They fight for certain games to not have it and for certain games to just go crazy with it. If that kind of makes sense, right? I see a lot of people complain about microtransactions in this specific game, but then go play, let's say, League of Legends, or let's Counter-Strike. And I know you might say, oh, well, League of Legends is free, And I kind of understand what you're going with there. I kind of get that, right? But at the same time, it's like they got a lot of it. And so does Counter-Strike. They got a lot of it. But those games are widely loved, and microtransactions are barely talked about. Yes, they were talked about a lot whenever the whole gambling thing was going on. But now they're not talked about at all, but they're still a huge factor in those games. And most multiplayer games nowadays have some type of customizable cosmetic, additions to their multiplayer. So I don't see it being such a far off for Bannerlord to have it. I don't know if I'm, knocking on the wrong door here, or like, I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me why this would be a problem. If it is cosmetic, it makes people, feel happy with like the stuff that they have. And also they said grindable, so there's a chance that you might be able to grind and get it yourself without having to pay. I think that's perfectly fine. It does help fund multiplayer, that it will probably help them get a bigger multiplayer team. If multiplayer is what you want to play from Bannerlord, you would be, in my opinion, you should be excited that they would add that, therefore getting more funding for a bigger multiplayer team, and then multiplayer developments will go a lot faster. But at the same time, as they've stated multiple times, and even in this thing right here, that they are not even thinking about that until they get multiplayer right, until the game experience is good. This has been stated multiple times. We've gone over it multiple times. They aren't even thinking about the microtransaction side until everything is fixed. Tell me what company in this world has said that, has made that statement, ever. Please give me another company that has stated that has got a game out without at least 40 microtransactions for their multiplayer scene. Please, find me a game nowadays that does that. Just one or two. Give me one or two names, because I really can't think of even one off the top of my head that has a multiplayer experience where they don't have a shop that literally has like categories upon categories of paid, this and that, either cosmetic, either the double XP or the da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know what I mean? So I think people getting very upset that, that they made this type of statement where they literally state that, we might add microtransactions in the future, and I think they should, but we will want to make sure our multiplayer is the best it could be before that. I think that is as good as it gets. I don't know how else to state it, And I think they really shot themselves in the foot, to be honest with you, for not putting cosmetics in. Even if they got some bad feedback from it, I think adding cosmetics into multiplayer experiences, it gives people a sense of like, I have kind of like this unique thing. Or if you make grindable achievements that are cosmetics, it also gives people this this kind of like little will to play, to kind of just, customize their character and kind of show it off. And that's kind of, that's the framework for most games nowadays, and I'm not even talking about like all the, other stuff that they, all the other cosmetics that games are putting in there. But I don't know how else to, maybe I have a bad take. Let me know if my take is super, super bad. But I think the way they're going about it isn't bad. I don't think it is. And I think if they add cosmetics, I don't think that's bad either. And for the people who think it's bad, if you're going to stand on the hill of microtransactions are bad, don't just close your eyes blindly to other games that you might like that also have them. Okay? Just saying. All right. Now, ships and naval warfare. I can't. I said that so wrong. Naval warfare. Warfare. I cannot say. Jesus Christ. You guys didn't hear that? I'm not editing this because it's gonna take like 3 hours to render. You heard what I said. You knew what I said. I don't want to hear it. Now, all right. Talking about the warfare, right? Let me tell you. I am kind of disappointed that the devs have stated before that it's not exactly a cut feature. It's just not something they're working on right now. It's unfortunate. I have to agree. It is unfortunate. I would really love to see it, but it's just something that they just they have stated right now that they aren't working on it. They don't have the time to work on it. They have other issues to work on. It is unfortunate. This is something that I really wanted in the game. It is unfortunate that it did not happen, and I think it would add a lot to the game. Now, here's the question: would I be upset if this came out as DLC and they charged me for it? No, I would not be upset. I would not be upset. I think if it is a reasonable price and it adds a lot to the game, as in ships, as in maybe let's say like some islands on the map or something like that, I would not be mad about it at all. I would not, because look, Mount Blade, like I said before, they have a good reputation with very good DLCs that are worth the money. And if they put out a DLC that is worth the money, and most of the time it's worth way more than the money, it's like usually like a whole new game, but just in a DLC version. I wouldn't be upset with it. I would not be upset with it. I don't think I might be like the only one who thinks this, but it's like if they, I don't know how else to put this, because I feel like I'm gonna offend a lot. I feel like I've already offended a lot of people with my opinions, right? But I don't know. It sucks that it's not in the current game, but well, it is in the files, right? It's in the codes. But who knows if it's gonna be made into a DLC or if it's gonna stay just what would you call it in the game? We will have to see. I don't know. This is all speculation at this point. There's been the only thing the devs have literally said is that they're not working on it right now. So that's all I could really give you, right? Again, you're sticking to this point that they made in like May of 2019, and it's almost it's a month away from 2021. So it's not it's really digging deep. I'll be honest with you. If not, why am I going to lie about Bannerlord in this interview about an unannounced project? This statement right here. If not, why Armageddon lied about the Bannerlord in the interview and what is the Unannounced project really about. Again, if this is on a site now, and this is an interview from 2019, you can't just go, boom, these two things are connected. You know? It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. When he made this interview and this thing wasn't up, how can you just put that together? Like, how could he have lied about something that wasn't up there yet, if that kind of makes sense, right? If Tailwolves have time and people to work on another project, why are we seeing statements in multiplayer game developers saying that we are a small team, etc.? Well, they're a game development studio, man. What do you expect, man? Sometimes you work on multiple projects. Most game studios aren't just working on one game. You know, that's just how it is. You know, you work on multiple projects. You branch off. You do a little bit of this. You do a little bit of that. You know, that's just how it works. I don't know how else to say that. You know, just and it's their right to do it as a game development company. I feel like we're super critical about just like the weirdest stuff, you know. I understand that some people have like this hatred for this company for some weird reason because they haven't really done anything scummy, you know. And there's a lot of companies that have done a lot of stuff that's scummy, and people are still like super hyped about every single game that comes out of them. You know what I mean? But this company, like what have they done that was so bad? They released Bannerlord the way you didn't like it, and now all of a sudden you have this hatred for them. You know, like really? Just think about that. Just think about that. It doesn't. Yikes! It just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Now, yeah, I don't even know if I want to read this stuff, to be honest with you. He's doubling down on this interview stuff. He just literally copy and pasted this into into another post. Okay. This guy always has some wild takes. I want to read. Look for a good laugh. I want to read them. All right. Most likely because it sells better than we are almost launching our game after 8 years. Here we go. This is the content I'm here for. And then shortly after we start making on more stuff to sell unfinished and buggy. More serious note. Those are the same statements almost every company makes because it would highly affect sales when you start to work on DLCs even before the base game is finished. No, it's not. Look, time to clap. All right, look. This whole, you know, we're almost launching our game after 8 years. That, to be honest, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you super dislike a game, right? Super dislike a game, and all your posts on the forums are just negativity, with no constructive criticism, just to vent your anger over something so minor as, you know, a game coming out a little bit sooner and a little bit unfinished. Just get off the forums, man. I'm gonna be honest, just get off the forums, man. It's not good for your health. It's not good for other people's health. You're not doing yourself a favor. You're not doing anybody else a favor, you know. This whole, you know, this negativity in the forums, it's just, bro, it's getting lame at this point, man. I'm gonna be honest, it's getting kind of lame. Like, you know, like, you're running with the same points here. Like, you know, the 8 years and this. Like, bro, they told you what it was when you bought it. It's so simple. They told you what it was when you bought it. It was unfinished. It was early access. Obviously, it's going to be buggy. Obviously, it's going to be unfinished because they stated it was unfinished. It's just a crazy concept that I don't think a lot of people can get into their heads. You know, when you read something, look, there's like that, what is that quote? It's like, if it smells like this, if it walks like this, then it's definitely this, right? So if they tell you it's like this, if they, you know, write it out to you right before the buy button on the Steam, which is where most people bought it, what do you expect it to be? Did you expect like a surprise, like, just kidding, guys, here's the finished game? You know what I mean? Like, all right, let's move on. And then more serious note, Jesus Christ. More serious note, these are statements almost every company makes because it would highly affect sales when you start to work on DLC even before the base game is finished. This is absolutely false. Every single big company, even the game that everybody right now is just jumping into joy with, that's coming out in, 7 days, Cyberpunk, they've even made a statement that says that they are working on DLC. And nobody cared. You know what I mean? There was like 3 articles, but nobody cared. in all retrospect. That didn't change their sales. They're still the top selling. This is a completely false statement. All right, what else do we got? I can't read another one of these. It's too much. Look at these guys. Look at these internet detectives, man. Could this be linked to Does mysterious disappearance to work on a secret? Jesus Christ. Okay. Now he's calling this guy a joke. Let's see why he's calling him a joke. You have more throwing axes in the phone. It's exactly the opposite of what the patch consists of. Maybe you should keep reading and play tomorrow on the beta. And tomorrow on the beta, throwing axes and archery units in multiplayer. Jesus Christ, man. Like, bro. Jesus Christ. He was trying to make a funny statement, you know what I mean? Just like a quick old funny statement, just a quick old reply. And look, everyone is just couldn't make this up. Welcome to Tailwoods is a Joke Club. Jesus Christ. Listen. I'm gonna say it one more time, just for the people who didn't hear in the back, alright? If you really hate something, and if I really hated something, you know, if I really just disliked the whole company, you know, how the game is going right now, I would move on to a different game, you know? Because just being a purely negative person in what I see is almost every thread that I see is just like, dog, what are you doing? You ever thought about that? What are you doing? And some of these guys actually watch my video too, and they comment under my video like, why you use my content? Why you... Like, bro, you put it on a public forum. You don't own the forum. Tailworlds owns the forum. I can make videos on this forum. Anybody in the world can make videos about this forum. So if you post your public opinion, guess what? I can post my public opinion about you and your post. And I just have to say, man, for your well-being, move on. If this isn't the game for you, move on. Don't try to spread your negativity. Don't try to start this like weird, like, you know, oh yeah, this company sucks movement. It's just, dog, it ain't the best for you, man. I'm just saying, man, it ain't the best for you. But that's just my opinion of it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get off of this subject because we were talking about it for a while. I decided to do one of these. I do these sometimes, you know, I try to stay away from them as much as possible because these type of threads will just have you, you know, like shaking your head, scratching your head. You know, you're just losing something from yourself every time you read one of these because it's just like, where is this coming from? It's like that, you know, Sunny in Philadelphia where that guy has like the you know, he has like the cigarette in his hand, he has like the crazy face, and he's just like looking at the board like, you see this? It's all connected. It's all connected. You know what I mean? And it's just like, oh, Jesus Christ. Listen, hopefully you enjoyed me debunking a lot of these takes. You know, I gave my opinions on a lot of stuff. If you agree or disagree, let me know. You know, I'm always ready to have a discussion. You know, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna accept that I'm wrong. You know, it is what it is. You know, I'm okay with that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Ask me any questions, any concerns, and like always, stay safe and don't visit this thread. Just don't do it. Don't do it. I can't even believe. I don't even want to see what's on page 2 and 3. Just save yourself some time and don't participate in this. This look. This ain't it. This ain't it, Chief. All right. All right. I'll see you guys.